Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm a little puzzled. I brought on a whole attorney who deals with patent, trademark, and copyright, particularly in the arts, to come in and talk to you all about copyright and the process of it. And I did that because I was a little confused when I heard people say, I do not own the rights to this music. We know you're not Beyonce. So I said, well, perhaps I did not give them enough information. Maybe I need to tell you where to go and get some of these things. So that's what I'm going to do. I need you to definitely be more with me. So come on, let's be more
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire.
Okay, in the name of Be More we are going to stop with this. I do not own the rights to this music. It doesn't work. It does not absolve you of responsibility for violating copyright. So, and it puzzles me because people think, oh yeah, all you have to do is put it at the bottom and you're safe. In whose eyes? You still can't use it. In fact, the very fact that you are saying I do not own the rights is admitting that you are using this without permission. So, number one, if you're going to use copyrighted music, you should always get permission, whether that's buying a license to use it or getting permission from the creator, however that works. But creators just like you want to get paid for their works, and they're not going to let this go. There are people listening out for you using things. So this is, you basically do need to be careful of that. Saying I do not own the rights or putting I do not own the rights to this music does not absolve you from that. And you can't claim ignorance. So what can you do? And I realized, I said to self, perhaps you did not tell them where they can go and get said music. So I'm going to do that now. Now, this is the interesting thing. So there are a couple of ways that you can do things. If you want to use a piece of music that is a copyrighted piece of music, you can use apps like, of course, using Instagram Reels, using TikTok, using apps that have permission for you to use songs in these different challenges, etc. You will notice, though, every once in a while, the sound will get removed from those videos, even if it's something that, you do something on TikTok. I bet you go back into some of your videos that you've made on TikTok and you'll notice that the sound has been removed, meaning that sound or song is not available anymore. So you can always, the one way to do it is to use these apps, like I said, like a TikTok or Instagram Reels, that have the permission for you to use that music. The permission comes with they're paying the licensing fees for you to use this music. So if something goes awry with that, the sound may be taken down or removed and you won't have the access to it. So there is that as well. So it's great while it lasts, but if for some reason it's taken down, it's not always the case, but sometimes that happens. I noticed that with one of my videos on TikTok. I thought, what happened to the sound? And I hadn't looked at it in a while. It said the sound was no longer available. So that's one way to do that, but you risk, if it's a really good video that you want to have the music attached to, you risk not having that available and the sound being removed. What's another way? Use music that is royalty free. Collaborate with people that make music. It is the best thing in the world to collaborate with people. My theme song for Mediascope, I collaborated with someone and I have an original song for Mediascope instead of using something else. That way, I'm assured that I'm not going to have any problems with copyright because I have a license from them. Right? So that's one thing. Whatever you use, make sure you get a license for that, but definitely collaborate with other people. There are amazing musicians, singers, songwriters, etc. that can write anything you want for whatever you're doing. Okay, so you may say to me, look, I'm not trying to write a whole series for Netflix. I just want some music for this really cool video that I just did. No problem. There are a number of different places that you can go and get this said music. So I'm going to say some of them, and these all have royalty-free music. Some you may not know about, some you probably know about. But I'm going to just give you a brief, and there are way more than this, but these are some of the ones I have used before and you may want to check out too. All right, so the first one is Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is really great because they have a large library, and on top of it, you can, and by the way, no, nobody is paying me for this, but because I'm tired of seeing you all make these copyright mistakes, it's free. Congratulations. So Epidemic Sound has a really large library, and you can check out, and they've got different genres. So you probably will be able to find something in there that meets the feel of what you want. Say you wanted something that's hip hop. There are all sorts of hip hop songs in there that you could probably add in that you're able to use. No, it's not going to be somebody, it may not be somebody that's really popular and recognizable, but it's about the beat, right? And it's about the rhythm and the music. So if you can find something that has a semblance of what you would like to convey through your video, go ahead and use that. And you can search through, again, that's Epidemic Sound. And they're one of the few, sometimes even with some of these sites, some songs you'll get dinged on if it's YouTube, for example. So you just have to be vigilant and be careful. But Epidemic Sound generally does not have that issue. So the next thing is Bensound. Bensound is another site like Epidemic Sound that you can go through their library and use these royalty free. Now, mind you, there are costs to use a lot of these. It's not free, but you could check out, and then a lot of them have free trials. And that way you can see, all right, this is a database that has a lot of the things I would like to use. I'm going to go ahead with them. And I would always suggest, if you are a content creator, definitely having an account to a place where you can get royalty-free assets, including video, so that you don't have to go out there with a drone and shoot stuff yourself, right? Video is another thing, but a lot of these sites will also have royalty-free video. So it may be worth it to you to pick one that also has some royalty-free video in case you want, like I said, a drone shot of Miami, but you're not in Miami and you can't do that, but you really need that to make your point. Then go ahead and go with a site that also has royalty-free photography and royalty-free video. So Storyblocks is another one. Storyblocks is often, it comes loaded with another editing program called wave.io that some of you may use it. I use it a lot. I use Adobe is my main one, but if I need to do something really quickly and I could do, that's a really good one to go to. So that is the quote resident royalty-free music that comes loaded with that. So you could check out Storyblocks as well. Envato Elements is one of my favorites. It would take you the next 10 years to go through everything they have, all the assets, and you still wouldn't get to go through everything. So Envato Elements is another one. Shutterstock. Did you know it's not just for pictures and for photos? You could get stuff from Shutterstock. You can photos from Shutterstock, but you can also get some music and sounds, and also get video. So if you already have a Shutterstock account, that may be something that you can look up if you're interested in finding music for a particular video. Also Adobe. Now, here's the cool thing. Now, there are some Adobe assets that are free, but then there are some Adobe assets that you have to pay for. So even if you have the Adobe Cloud account like I do, because that's how I use Adobe to edit, you have some assets that are free, and then a lot that you have to pay for. So you can always, if you already have Adobe, you can always go in there and get some assets, and you can just have an Adobe account just for those media assets. You don't have to do the whole cloud thing. You can just say, look, all I want is royalty-free stuff, and you could go with that. Also, guess what? YouTube. If you're already a YouTube creator, YouTube has a huge library of music that you can use to make your videos pop. I will say this though, you tend to hear the same stuff by YouTube creators if they're using that YouTube library. So even though it has a really big library, everybody seems to try and gravitate toward the same things, and you hear it over and over and over again. So honestly, to avoid that, go with a bigger database, something like an Envato Element or an Epidemic Sound, or collaborate so you can get original music. The original music, you can be sure you're not going to really hear anywhere else. But if you want less of a chance or likelihood of hearing the same songs over and over, what you want to do is check out a larger database. But guess what? YouTube has assets, and you can use these assets for free. So if that's where you're starting, go ahead and do that, especially if you are already a YouTuber. And don't know if you knew this, but there are video assets and sound assets and also pictures on Creative Commons. Now, Creative Commons is a collaborative database. It's almost like a Wikipedia in a sense. So it's a collaborative database, and anybody can submit their works there. So you get a registration number, a Creative Commons registration number, and then you just have to give, well, depending on what it is. Some creators don't require you to give attribution at all. Some do. So you just have to check on the Creative Commons license. You just go to creativecommons.org, check on the Creative Commons license and see what they allow, and you can get some really cool stuff. So again, people know it primarily for video and for pictures, but there is also some sound that is Creative Commons. So I gave you a few things. Let me review them again. Epidemic Sound, Bensound, Storyblocks, Envato Elements, Shutterstock, Adobe, YouTube, and of course, Creative Commons. And there are a bunch more that I did not cover, but I said I can't allow my family to continue to make these copyright mistakes and then be clueless as to why. And I suspect there are still some people who are still going to do it anyway. I can't make you do it. All I can do is provide you with the information to do it the right way. So when it comes to making your next video, I want you to use royalty-free sound if you possibly can. Be more use the royalty-free stuff. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Scope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations.